Hello, in this lesson we are going to talk about some of the illegal activities that are done and where cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin are used. The media may lead you to believe that all cryptocurrency, or they'll probably say Bitcoin, but they're generally talking about cryptocurrency and blockchain as well based stuff is purely illegal, and that's just, well, a lie. There's plenty of legal stuff, but again, this video is talking about the illegal side of it. So one of the biggest ones, use cases, or I don't know what happened to my S there, is Silk Road. If you know anything about Bitcoin, then I'm sure you've heard of this. This was a website on the dark web that basically facilitated the sale of drugs. The sale of drugs using Bitcoin as a means for purchasing them, and various other stuff as well. So other stuff that is being used for online outside of Silk Road is weapons. Most of this stuff does generally occur on the dark web simply because they can secure it using a network such as Tor. So it's a lot harder for authorities or anyone really to trace an individual. Another thing is child porn. Again, I just want to mention all of these things, whether it's drugs, weapons, child porn, or anything else that we're going to discuss, is done in the real world. It's done on the internet, but not on the dark web. So just the regular, either surfaceable or deep web. But it's been sort of attracted to the dark web, and more specifically cryptocurrencies, due to its anonymity. Obviously, I won't really go into any depth about weapons, child porn, or drugs. At the end of the day, you know what they are, but it facilitated the transaction of this. Torture, and I'm not talking about torture porn or anything like that, but that as well, but just torturing of people and selling essentially the access to it, sometimes even live online, so you can watch that and transact coins. And in general, other illegal information and data. So whether that's illegal data regarding government secrets or illegal data regarding anyone really, if it's illegal, a lot of time people are using some sort of dark web based system to transact it, to transfer it. And now with the advent of cryptocurrencies, people are using, if they want to sell it, they are using cryptocurrencies through the dark web. Another thing is, and this is something that you can get via the dark web, and you can get it without cryptocurrencies really, but cryptocurrencies have really aided people that want to hire hitmen. And I'm not even taking the piss here, I'm being serious. Like, people that want to hire hitmen, you can go onto the dark web, hire them, and just pay them using cryptocurrencies. So this all generally works around the dark web. Another thing is tax evasion. Some people might call it avoidance. Evasion is illegal, avoidance is legal. Some, obviously, the morality of certain tax avoidance schemes and mechanisms is a debate for another day. But tax evasion, some people may be putting their money in cryptocurrencies to make it harder to track, even though they should have paid tax on it. Or maybe if they're using it to sell stuff, because remember, as we covered in the tax and regulations video, if you are a seller and you're selling stuff using cryptocurrencies, let's say Amazon for example, the profit in that, you still need to report that, that still needs to be taxed. But maybe because it's harder to track it, maybe they're not actually reporting it. So that's another thing. Another major one is ransom. Again, none of this is new. It existed before cryptocurrencies, it existed before the dark web, it existed before technology, before computers, but it's just exploded as a result of this, and it's provided a new way of securing the anonymity of an individual. So the ransom can be anything from kidnapping, so maybe some people are kidnapping a famous person or the child of a rich individual, rich family, and they want the the ransom in cryptocurrencies. Another thing is cyber attacks. This is very big within cryptocurrency. So if, let's say, you hack a company, you lock all the data down, and you say, if you don't send us money within 24 hours or 48 hours, we'll delete all your data. Usually back in the day would have been using fiat currency, but now with the advent of cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, it's a lot harder to track, so they are using that instead. And terrorist groups are also using cryptocurrencies. And what are they using it for? So they are using it for a few different things. They're using it as a means of remaining anonymous, regardless whether you're a terrorist group, a corporation, a government, whoever you are. You need to get stuff. You need to buy stuff for your cause, for whatever you're doing. And using cryptocurrencies, it helps them remain anonymous when they are purchasing stuff and transferring currency and transferring assets as well over long distances, over different countries as well. Another thing is blockchain based technology such as Ethereum, for example, is being used by terrorist groups as a means of tracking data without a central system. So that, again, doesn't matter whether they're an illegal group or not, they still have to do certain things for that group to operate. So tracking certain things, they need to have certain operations that you would see in a regular business as well. And if they can do it via a decentralized distributed system, then they can operate even longer without getting caught or being taken down in any successful effort. And finally, in general, some may argue it isn't legal as it's untrackable. So some people may argue that it is illegal regardless of what you're doing with it, just because it's untrackable. This isn't a very popular argument, but I have heard individuals online and in real life say this, and I think this is pretty stupid, but I think it's something worth mentioning, because at the end of the day, you can't really track, let's say, note-based currency, so physical pounds, physical coins, notes, unless you have some sort of system in there to track it if it's being used at a certain place. But imagine if it's not being used, how are you going to track that? So this really isn't a major one, but again, I've heard it from individuals, so I thought it was worth mentioning. So in this video, we covered the illegal activities that some people are using cryptocurrencies for. Again, I'm not encouraging any illegal activities. I thought I'd just put that disclaimer there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you want to go over the video again, feel free to do that to check out any of the topics and concepts that we covered. And as usual, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next lesson.